We're set up on the tripod. Right now, I'm about 3/4 of the way into my first serious climb of the day. We're heading out on what is around a 25-kilometer round hike, day hike for the day, from the 6th Street extension in Collingwood at the base of the Niagara Escarpment. It's a climb I know well. If you follow my channel, it's a climb you know well too. I do a lot of my training right here for elevation gain. Today we're heading to the highest point on the Bruce Trail. Hey, Gary here, trail named Jasper. Welcome to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in today. Whoo-wee! Today is, what day is it today? Well, it's Wednesday. And I think it's the 30th of July. But if somebody said, no, it's the 29th, I'd believe them. But I think it's the 30th. It's still quite early on the morning, but it's already getting quite hot out. However, I don't think there's quite as much humidity as we've been having. We did get some rain last night. I think that may have cleared things up a little bit, although it is somewhat humid this morning, but not as bad as it has been. Okay, the climb continues, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. Okay, so point number 2. On my Ganaraska trail, I did make a final decision on what I was going to continue with this particular year, 2020, for my hike season. And I did officially, if you will, call the Colorado. It's not happening. Again, as I've said many times, my desire was the Colorado Trail this year. But it's not going to happen, obviously. The bug's out there and it's just not pleasant. So with that said in mind, that's actually one of the reasons I did do the Ganaraska Trail, because while I was waiting for maybe the border to open, I thought, well, we'll throw in the Ganaraska Trail just for the heck of it. But anyhow, last year, 2019, I did a successful through hike of the Bruce Trail. This year we are going to do again the Bruce Trail, but this time I am going to attempt a Bruce Trail yo-yo. 1,800 kilometers plus whatever other miles I do or have to do to resupply and so on. I do have the wonderful and amazing trail angel Joanne, who's again volunteered to help me. And she helped us, both Andre and I, on the Ganaraska Trail, and she's volunteered to help me on this trail by meeting me in certain locations with supply boxes and so on. So that is a huge help. So again, thank you to Trail Angel Joanne for that. So yeah, my start date is on or around August the 10th or 11th. I'm looking at, well, it's going to be, first of all, the longest through hike I've ever done. It's going to be pushing 2,000 kilometers total. It's going to be a 2.5 month hike, or thereabouts. So that kind of hike is 90% mental. Most through hikes are 90% mental, and the other 10% is physical. But it's almost a lifestyle for that 2.5 months. You have to hike smart. You're not going to do it in a day, so there's no point trying. You only hurt yourself. So again, it's a kind of hike that you would hike smart, because the Bruce is a challenging trail full of rocks, tree roots, just like the section I'm on today. Very challenging. Okay, so that's an update of my 2020 official kind of through hikes, the Ganaraska, which I've completed, and an attempt at the Bruce Trail through hike, which I have yet to start. So that is going to be my official 2020 through hiking season. The Colorado, I've officially put that to 2021 as my through hike for 2021. God knows what's going to happen between now and then. We'll see. Okay. The trail progresses well. We start off on this particular hike with a very serious climb, and then a descent, basically losing most of the elevation that we gained on the climb. It then turns into a second serious climb, as we now regain, we will be regaining the elevation that we gave up, and that will take us to the top of the escarpment. Wow. Now here is another creek. This creek, not so fortunate as Silver Creek, but Silver Creek is fed by a big lake. This one dries up. I'll just show you here, excuse my trekking poles in the camera. But this one pretty much dries up in the summertime. Still, it's a water source today, that's for sure. If it was needed, for the through hikers, it would be a water source. Especially if they don't know Silver Creek's just up the trail a kilometer. But anyhow, okay, enough babbling. That's quite a bit of updating right there. And again, I will update you again when there's a final result on those icebreaker socks. Okay, let's get going. First break of the day. 6.5 kilometers in, about 1.5 hours into the trail. Coffee, little carrot muffin. My girlfriend made these and they're good. Although I have to say they're good, right? The hike goes well. Just a beautiful, beautiful morning, a beautiful location, a perfect day. Wow. Again, I've said it many, many times. I am so lucky to be here, to live here. Wow. Rain's moving in. Thunderstorms later in the day. I do have a rain jacket, a light rain jacket in my pack, which will be fine for today. I don't believe the temperatures are going to drop very cool. It's quite a warm day. You know, covered in sweat, but that's okay. Oh. I'm going to enjoy my coffee, I'm going to enjoy my muffin, and then we're going to lay down some more miles as we push towards the highest point of the Bruce Trail. Now, right off the trail, to the right of the trail if you're heading southbound, is a little walkway, if you will, or a small trail that leads you into one of the few and far between Bruce Trail official overnight rest areas. Here you can see rock set up as a fire pit, rock set up as seating, areas where you could set up your tent, like say right in here, for instance. Something like that would probably work just fine. There's also, over on this far side, yeah, there it is. I've been here before, but it was a while ago, is a outhouse type structure. And obviously you can use that, and it works just fine. So obviously not 5-star by any means, but you know what, if you're a through hiker on a hike and you come across an official Bruce Trail overnight rest area, then you don't have to worry about Ministry of Natural Resources, say on camping on provincial land, bothering you, or landowners on, say, private land if you did that. Here you can camp, you can enjoy the facilities, have a campfire if you wished, and also the little kind of outhouse. And it doesn't cost you anything to stay here. I think you have to be a member of the Bruce Trail Association. There are some further south that do require a membership, that do require a fee. That fee is $50, believe it or not. There's a couple of those. Dundas is one, and Rattlesnake Point is another, where you pay $50 to camp. Now, at Rattlesnake Point, you do have the benefit of showers and so on. At Dundas, no. However, there is a little store at Dundas where you can get snacks and so on from. Tea, coffee, juices, pop, whatever. And it's a nice little area, but expensive if you choose to kind of camp there. I've actually camped in both Dundas and Rattlesnake Point. But in that particular case, another hiker, or another kind of group of hikers, if you will, had actually paid for the $50 fee and allowed me just to kind of slip in there with them. And that was actually Carl and his son. I believe his son's name was Brendan, but oh my goodness, I'm forgetting. But yeah, so they let me camp there with them on last year's through hike at both Dundas and Rattlesnake Point. But to pay $50 for one of those down there is a little high. There are several, when I say several, there are a few of the ones like I've just shown you. I don't particularly pick them as a destination, but if I do run across them and it's getting that time of day, then yes, I'm happy to use them. Okay, the trail progresses well. The morning progresses well. So yeah, let's keep going. It's just a perfect day today. I'm so enjoying our hike. So as I'd mentioned earlier, I have a start date of around August the 10th or 11th, just depending on transportation and so on, to the trailhead in Niagara Falls at the Queenston Heights Park, which is, I don't know, about 250 kilometers from where I live. Now, last year when I went down, I used Greyhound, and that was great. Right from my hometown of Wasaga Beach. It was an all-day journey, but it put me into Niagara Falls at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, where I had a inexpensive kind of trail trash motel for the night. By 7:30 a.m. the next morning, I was on trail, and it worked out well. This time, there is no Greyhound. Because of the bug, the Greyhound is kind of off the road here in Ontario. But we do have Go Transit, which will take me from the city of Barrie, which is about 45 minutes away from where I live, down to Niagara. Now, on that particular service, I've never used it before. Some of it's on a train, some of it's on a bus, I believe. I'm just not sure how it all works. But you can also not buy your tickets in advance. You have to buy them the day of. So depending when my trail angel can take me to Barrie, be it on the the Sunday or the Monday, depends what day I will start on trail. Again, it will be an all-day journey to Niagara, so I will be probably stopping at the same Trail Track motel as I did last time, but it was the nearest one I could find that I could afford to the trailhead. From there, it was about a $20 Uber ride to the actual trailhead itself. So, okay, just a little bit of more information about my plans, my upcoming through hikes and so on. Wow. Clouds are building, but still quite sunny out. Thunderstorms this afternoon, very possible. Now, right down this little trail here, off the main trail, and it's not marked, but you will come again to an area. Now, this is not particularly a Bruce Trail kind of official overnight rest area. However, through hikers will use it as well as locals. But again, you come to a fire pit right up the trail. Oh, somebody's got kindling all ready to go. And area such as right here would be just fine for your tent for the night. And there's enough room here for, there's one over there, there's several actually. You could actually put, probably 4 or 5 tents up here and camp for the night. And again, that's exactly the kind of place I would camp on a through hike, and I will camp at places just like that. Going back to the trail, we've actually reached the point that I set out to reach, which is the outlook at Osler Bluff, pretty much the highest point on the Bruce Trail, and just take a little look at the view on a beautiful, beautiful summer's day. And you've seen it before if you follow my channel. But if you don't, well, you should follow it. So don't forget to click that subscribe button. Also click the bell. It'll tell you every time I upload a video. But take a look at the view. Gorgeous. Just about time to head back, to leave my little rest area, my perfect little viewing point, head back towards my car, 12.25 kilometers back. One more look. Beautiful, isn't it? Wow. Well, yeah, so far so good. Clouds are building, but the rain's holding off. Nice and warm. In fact, you know what? It's pretty much a perfect day. Okay, we'll pack up from here. We'll start heading back. Welcome to Platoon. Warning, natural hazard area. Use at own risk. Bruce Trail Blaze. Information on the Niagara Escarpment. And the Platoon conservation area. And right here it tells you the history of the area. The conservation area is named for the Platoon people who once lived along the slopes of the Niagara Escarpment from Creemore to Craigleith. Wow. Wow, smallpox. Smallpox did them in. Oh dear, in the 1600s. Wow. And then the rest of them were eliminated by the Seneca Nation. Interesting history. Wow. And of course the Bruce Trail user code. Yeah. Wow. Some history there. So yeah, the Platoon people were decimated by the smallpox in the 1600s. Well, it's super interesting kind of history from this area. And again, actually, that really is interesting, because right now, as everybody knows, obviously, we're living through a virus time. But look, back in the 1600s, another illness, I don't know if it's considered a virus or what, I guess a disease, but smallpox, well, it did away, essentially, with the Petun people back in the 1600s. So everything that's going on is definitely not new, that's for sure. Things much like it have been before, and unfortunately, probably will be again. Well, they say history tends to repeat itself. I know I do. Okay, let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. So as today's hike comes to an end, about 1.5 kilometers down this gravel country road to finish off today's hike. Thank you for tuning in. It's just been another kind of day in the life of a hiker, a guy that loves to hike, really. We talked about our upcoming through hikes, and yet our longest hike ever, starting in a couple of weeks, the Bruce Trail Yo-Yo. So that sounds like an adventure, that's for sure. Will it be successful? Well, let you know in about 2.5, 3 months. But anyhow, thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for watching my channel. Please give me a like, subscribe, do leave a comment, and if you haven't already, make sure you click that notification bell. It'll tell you every time I upload a video to YouTube. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.